Gosh readers, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am talking about all the books I read in April. If my voice sounds a little funny or if I sound a little stuffy, it's because I am. I think it's just allergies. I don't have a fever or anything. I just feel a little stuffy today. But anyways, so without further ado, let's begin. I read 7 books this month, and the way that I am going to do this video is I'm going to separate it by the least amount of stars I gave to the most amount. I rate my books out of 5 stars. 1 star being it was not good, 2 stars okay, 3 stars I liked it, 4 stars I really liked it, and 5 stars I loved it. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting off with my 3 stars. So I read Michael Crichton's The Great Train Robbery. Michael Crichton is one of my favorite authors, and I of course rated it 3 out of 5 stars. It took me 8 hours to read. It's about basically like a Victorian England, set in Victorian England, and it's like a train heist robbery type thing about these cast of characters who are planning and robbing a train, and what I liked about it is I always loved Michael Crichton's writing. He's one of my favorite authors, and I did like the premise of it, I guess. Not too much, but yeah. And then what I didn't like about it is it was a little long, and even though it was like, 266 pages, it felt a little long and slow paced. There wasn't a lot of like character development in it, but like it was very character driven, but I still love Michael Crichton's writing, and yeah, anyways. The next 3 stars that I gave in the last 3 stars this month is Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. This one is about this girl who is like rich, I guess, and she goes to college because she's forced to by her parents, and she meets this guy who's like in this town, and they fall in love, I guess. I do enjoy Elle Kennedy's writing, but I don't know, this one was okay. It was like good read, but I'm not like gonna keep it, like kind of like that. Wouldn't recommend it as well. It took me 10 hours to read, and yeah, I feel like yeah, I could have definitely read more other Elle Kennedy books. I have read The Deal, and I've read this one. If there's any recommendations for other Elle Kennedy books, I would love to know in the comments. But yeah, that was my thoughts and opinions on that. I didn't really have a lot of thoughts and opinions on this. I just was like, it's okay, I also didn't really enjoy the miscommunication in it too. I was like, oh my gosh, really? So moving on to my 4 stars this month. So I gave Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert 4 stars. This one is a romance between Chloe Brown and Red, and Chloe is like has like an autoimmune disease, and she comes up with a list of things to do, like to help her get a life, and she meets Red and they fall in love. Rated it 4 out of 5 stars. Took me 10 hours to read as well. What I liked about it, I loved the writing. I loved it so much. Honestly, like, it's very British, I'd say, and it definitely reads like you're watching like a British rom-com, but definitely, yeah, it is so good though. I really love this, and there's nothing I can't not say that's like bad about this book, I feel like. reason, I mean, I feel like I did enjoy this a lot, and it was, I just love the writing, and I love the characters. Yeah, and I feel like I would definitely pick up more of Talia Hibbert's writing, or Talia Hibbert's books. So yeah. The next book that I read is The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. So this one is about this witch who is like known as the evil witch in this town, and they like drop off a baby every year so that the witch doesn't like ruin the town. And they are scared of the witch, but the witch is actually really friendly and nice. And one of the babies that got dropped off, she decided to take care of her, and the baby became a little young witch. And they are just living their life. This is a young adult novel. It is technically middle grade, but I feel like I wouldn't really necessarily give it to like a 10-year-old. I probably would give it to like more of a middle schooler, like from probably 12 to like up, you know, just because of the context in this book, in the contents. But yeah, I did enjoy it though, so definitely 4 out of 5 stars. The content warning, if you want to know, is, and the reason is because it deals with death, and it has some, I believe, like, from what I remember, like nudity scenes, I guess, and I don't know, it just didn't really feel like a 10-year-old should be reading this, in my opinion. It feels like a 12 plus, you know. But yeah, anyways, it was still good. I still enjoyed it. It took me 7.5 hours to read, but yeah, it was really good. Also, the writing style is very much like not really like middle grade as per se. It reads more like young adult, and it didn't feel like I was reading a middle grade, so yeah. So the next book that I read is Give Me a Sign by Anna Sortino. This one is about, or it took me 7.5 hours to read, and it's about this girl who is deaf, or hard of hearing, and she doesn't really fit in with the hearing side of the world, and she also doesn't feel like she fits in with the deaf side of the world, and so like she decides to spend her summer as a camp counselor, I guess, camp leader, in a deaf camp, and she wants to learn sign language and just be involved in the deaf community, and she falls in love with a boy who is deaf, and he speaks only in signs. So yeah, and it is really good. I highly recommend this book. I loved it, really loved it. I actually am deaf, or hard of hearing. I have a mild to moderate hearing loss, and I do not have a hearing aid because in middle school, alas, I got bullied, and I decided to make my hearing aid disappear. I don't remember if I threw it away or if I just lost it, but now as a 25-year-old adult, I'm like, why did I do that, you know? But anyways, yeah, so this really made me feel seen and heard and connected. I connected a lot with the main character, who like can pass as like hearing, but also like not, and I don't know, I really loved it, and I loved the summer vibes of it, so definitely would recommend, especially if it is something that you are interested in. Plus, I haven't heard a lot about this on the booktube community, and I feel like it needs more representation, and like it needs to be talked about more, because I feel like, yes, you know. The next book and last book that I rated 4 stars that I read this month is The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. She is, it's a memoir. It took me 9.5 hours to read, and this memoir is about Jeanette Walls' like experience growing up with in poverty, and like her dad who was an alcoholic, and her mom who was like an artist, and they didn't really want to get jobs or anything, and yeah, it's just her struggles in life. I'm sure you've heard about this book, but yeah, it is really good. I love that. I feel like I did reread this. I read this in 2019, and before I started this booktube channel, so yeah, but it is so good, and I definitely recommend it. Some trigger warnings for you is death of a parent, sexual abuse, and like child neglect, but yeah, this one I definitely recommend, and I really liked it. Alright, the one and only and last book that I read this month that is a 5-star is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. This one, oh, it's so good. I read this on audiobook and followed through on this physical copy. I decided, since I was sitting in 2 hours plus of traffic on Sunday for Easter, I decided to pop in this audiobook and borrow it from my library. And it's so good. It took me 10 hours to read, including with the audiobook, and rated it 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely love this. Literally, I finished this in about 2 to 3 days. It's so good. So what it's about this family and this girl who her dad is a POW or POW soldier from Vietnam, and he has a lot of mental health issues with that. So he decides to take his family up to Alaska to live off the land, and there is domestic violence in this, and it's just her experience growing up in Alaska with dealing with domestic violence and abuse from her father. And Kristen Hanna, like, her writing style, I just love. I dig it. It's so good. And this is also considered historical fiction. It takes place in the 70s, over a couple year span. And it's so good. I love this one. This is my 3rd Kristen Hanna book that I've read. I've read this one, The Nightingale, and The Four Winds, and I rated them all between like a 5 to 4 stars. So Kristen Hanna is slowly becoming one of those instant buy authors. So yeah. Anyways, really love this. Highly recommend. So that is all the books I read this month. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of the books that I read this month, or what you read. If you have any recommendations or anything, let me know. This is a community channel. This is the reason I set up this YouTube channel, is to talk about books and start my own community and like talk about books, you know. So I definitely love getting comments and getting recommendations and everything. So yeah, especially when it's talked about like books and stuff, and we can start communication. But anyways, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys had a good reading month. months and good Easter and all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day.